I'd like to finally close now with perspective on what's happening up at the General Assembly. This is the time of year when 183 of my closest colleagues, the policymakers, congregate underneath the Gold Dome to do their business. My office has proposed 4 legislative initiatives. You've probably seen or heard. I've been very vigilant on enforcing licensing around bail bondsmen. I've revoked a number of licenses. I fined a number of bail bondsmen. I'm deeply concerned at the activities within that sector of the business that I regulate. I've looked in this provision to strengthen the enforcement authority in my office because, quite frankly, the business of undercutting, in other words, when you get bonded out after you're pinched, bondsmen will actually charge less than what they're statutorily obligated to charge because the fees are all set by statute. And they will undercut one another in order to garner the business of another bondsman. It's illegal. It's already outlawed in statute, but it happens every day. There's a real criminal justice risk to the citizens of the state of Connecticut. And so long as I occupy the chair, I will be vigilant in enforcing those statutes. I've looked for increased authority in my bill because I will not risk public safety over the practices of undercutting. And I am, as you've probably seen over the last year, we've really stepped up our enforcement activities in this area. In addition, we have a third-party administrator bill, which effectively requires companies that come into the state as third-party administrators or TPAs to be licensed by my office. Right now, it's kind of a wild west in terms of companies can come in and operate as third-party administrators for health insurance plans. They can come in and go out without any capital requirements, no licensing requirements. It's an area where 40 other states have an NAIC model act on the books. Connecticut, for whatever reason, never adopted the model, and that's one of my legislative proposals. We have a technical revisions bill which effectively strengthens the authority of my office in some areas where there's ambiguity or areas where I think we need more enforcement authority. And then finally, we have a medical malpractice data reporting proposal, which again is a National Association of Insurance Commissioners model, which would require med-mal underwriters and, if I have to, practitioners to report their claims experience to my office so I can monitor the trends that are occurring in the med-mal market. Those are my 4 proposals. As you, and I read your, by the way, your newsletter, and I know you guys have been tracking bills on auto body steering, as they're sometimes referred to. As many of you are aware, the Hartford was the recipient of a class action lawsuit down in Stanford, and the landscape is very unsettled right now. That case is up on appeal, but there have been proposals in the past, and I would anticipate those to continue this session around steering. I would anticipate, and I don't know if Chairman Fontana talked about credit scoring or his bill or the committee's bill on the use of credit in underwriting. We talked about the health insurance rate review bill that my office opposed. The state catastrophe fund, which effectively would create a, put the state of Connecticut in the business of underwriting insurance risk. Something my office opposed the first year I was here, something we opposed last year, the year before that, and something we will oppose again this year. I think we've got enough problems confronting the state of Connecticut. I don't think we need to have the state of Connecticut go into business of insurance. I don't know about you, but I think we'd be better off to kind of stick to our knitting. And the same is true not only in natural catastrophes, but there's also a proposal to create a workers' compensation fund. And the state would effectively become the underwriter of workers' compensation risk. There again, not a well thought out proposal in my estimation. If we have one competitive market out there right now, it's the workers' compensation market. I mean, I have more underwriters knocking on my door trying to get licensed as work comp underwriters than just about any business. Pardon me, I'm a capitalist at heart, but when competition works and there's abundant choice out there, I think we should let the market do what the market does. So we will oppose that bill as well. I went over my 20-minute time frame, but just barely over my 20-minute time frame. And I noticed a couple people did have the nerve to walk out, and it probably was just I'm sure it was just a comfort station break. They really weren't leaving. They fully intend to come back. But I want to thank you for your time. Those are just one man's opinion on what's kind of confronting our state and our nation. I appreciate what you folks do day in and day out, providing real valuable advice to consumers of the state of Connecticut. We have 3.5 million residents, and some of them just don't want to talk to a lizard on a 1-800 number, right? They don't want to do that. So, I work for, and you know my history, I work for a company that was very dependent upon the independent agency plan. I've now, in my three-year tenure in this job, have had the opportunity to be with folks like you, and I really appreciate and value, the partnership with PIA on issues of national and local prominence, and most importantly, that job that you do. The fact that you aren't a 1-800 number, and you're not a lizard. So keep doing what you do, and thank you for your time today.